What's up, guys? Your boy, 20K13. I'm here to give you guys your wrestling news wrap up for May 5th, 2015. Sami Zayn scheduled for more WWE TV taping. Triple H a big fan of the New Day. Sami Zayn scheduled for more WWE TV taping. Sami Zayn, who made his Raw debut last night, is scheduled to appear at more upcoming events WWE TV taping. However, those appearing could hinge on the result of his MRI today. As noted, Zayn suffered some type of shoulder injury on Raw last night and underwent an MRI today to reveal the extent of the injury. Triple H, a big fan of New Day member. Tonight, ESPN will air its WWE Behind the Curtain special, and New Day caught a sneak peek of the documentary at a media event last week in Manhattan. The report notes the documentary will reveal Triple H is a big Xavier Woods fan, and when Dusty Rhodes said WWE needed to fish or cut bait with Woods, Triple H said that they are fishing. WWE edited out the curve stomp. Final viewership info for last week's Impact Wrestling. Former WWE star releasing tell-all book. As noted, the curve stomp has effectively been banned in WWE as it's no longer used as Seth Rollins' finishing maneuver. During last night's WWE 24 special on Roman Reigns, the curve stomp was edited out of WrestleMania 31 main event highlight as the camera cut to a crowd shot a moment before Rollins hit the move. Final, final viewership info for last week's Impact Wrestling. As we previously reported, last Friday Hardcore Justice episode of TNA Impact Wrestling drew 418,000 viewers. The replay added 131,000 viewers, bringing the total viewership to 549,000. This total number was down 4% from the previous week's total audience of 559,000 viewers. Former WWE star releasing tell-all book. Tomorrow, former WWE superstar JTG will be releasing his first book titled, Damn, Why Did I Write This Book? The book will feature backstage stories from his time in WWE and OVW, and below is promotional material for the book. Damn, why did I write this book? It's a compilation of short stories all focused around the four-letter word that has ended more wrestling careers than steroids, pills, and alcohol combined. Heat. Heat, a black cloud that follows a superstar after a personal conflict or misunderstanding between two individuals or more backstage. And damn, why did I write this book? I take the reader on a journey from the beginning of my career to the final curtain call, sharing stories on how I battled heat from day one while managing to piss off more people for writing this book. Michelle Beadle posted in-depth blog on why she no longer supports WWE. John Cena talked possibly replacing the host of UK show. John Cena is backing James May and Richard Hammond to return as presenter to Top Gear. U.S. champ U.S. champ Cena told MTV UK he was disappointed the program was in turmoil following the departure of act host Jeremy Clarkson, but noted in WWE that no one person is bigger than the machine. Asked whether he fancied presenting the B flagship car show, the 38-year-old indicated he hoped Jazza co-host may be available to iron out new deals. It is sad to hear that the show in a bit of upheaval. I love those guys. I love the show, he said. I certainly hope they can work everything out because I love watching Top Gear. Not only because of the car, I think it is because of the crew too. In the WWE realm, we say that no one man is bigger than the machine and everybody replaceable. But it will be a shame not to see those guys doing their thing. However, John is keen to get behind the wheel and take on gambling corner himself. I wouldn't mind doing the star in a reasonably priced car, he joked. We tried to hook that up a bunch of times, but the stars just haven't aligned. Michelle Beadle posted in-depth blog on why she no longer supports WWE. As noted, ESPN host Michelle Beadle publicly tweeted over the weekend that she no longer supports WWE due to Triple H's relationship with Floyd Mayweather. In a blog posted on Twitter longer, Beadle explained her decision. I am a fan of sports, a fan of television, good and bad, a fan of 80s music, of the Spurs, of cheesy movies, of John Oliver. I've been a fan of great people and some I shouldn't have revered at all. Those who had their share of transgression in life, and as of a couple of days ago, I was a fan of the WWE. My fandom dates back about 18 years, off and on. I love the drama. I love the character. The over-the-top bravado exhibited by men as they flip through the air in an athletic, well choreographed dance. It was pure entertainment from which I got great joy. Through the years, WWE has been great to me, hooking me up with amazing seats, giving me access that most fans would love to have. And for that, I'm thankful. I had superstars on my show and weirdly plugged numerous campaign and events for the company. I've publicly gone to bat for them as shockingly. Wrestling fans tend to be on the receiving end of some ridicule. I did all of it because I was a fan, but this past weekend has been one that I will remember for a long time to come. We get back to the wrestling in a minute, I promise. The Mayweather-Pacquiao fight brought out the best and worst in people. The criminality abuser past that Floyd Mayweather carried served as a diving line for the nation. On the one side, on the one side you have the apologists, the men and women who are willing to separate the boxer from the horrendous act for which he been convicted and cheer him on. On the other side, you had those who would not make that jump and would keep the national discussion of domestic violence issues front and center. In the middle, you had a large group of in the middle you had a large group that just didn't know. I was once in that last group last summer while hosting the SB Red Carpet. I made the mistake of saying to Mayweather, I like the way you live your life. Many people on Twitter called me out and they were right. I did the research. I learned of the accusation, the conviction, the abuse committed in front of his own children, and the way the judicial system made a mockery of those women, putting the Las Vegas money tree ahead of doing the right thing. I immediately apologized and vowed I never support that man and his lifestyle. How could I, a man who viewed women as a possession, thing to be controlled? I have to believe that my outspoken stance had something to do with my credential being pulled from for the fight. Either that or the world's most uncraining confidence occurred resulting in poor credential for at least three other members of the media who also happened to speak out about DV. The timing was interesting. First, I was credential, then I wasn't. People have tried to dismiss the entire ordeal as a misunderstanding, but email from network executives say otherwise. It turned out my access was reinstated late Friday night, but to no one knowledge, and by then it was too late. After a week of various national figures bio-rating about the greatness of Mayweather from his prowess in the ring to his life packed with cars, cash, and opponents, I had enough. Those that pulled my credential was actually doing me a favor. I was given a pass to lead an event that had already had me feeling uneasy and uncomfortable in my career choice. You just You just mad you couldn't go to the fight, some have said. I had a ticket. I gave it up. So why go at all? I've been asked. You should have not even gone to Vegas. Had been thrown around a few times. I tell you why I went. I went because it was my job. That's the obvious reason. But more importantly, I went because I have a voice. You may not like my voice. You may find me grating and annoying and in need of a timeout several times a week, but my voice is all I have. I'm sure I could have gotten a pass on Las Vegas Fight Week coverage, but what does that do? How does that help? Would it have been a much more peaceful weekend for me? Probably. Maybe you think this is for attention, but you be wrong. My employers, ESPN and HBO, have not once asked me to keep quiet. I feel strongly about holding people accountable for their actions. I don't want to get over it or let it go. And yet, I'm aware that there are bad people across all sports that may not get the same coverage. But I've seen so many changes in not just what's being reported, but in the reaction from the public. People are fed up. A lot, not all, but a lot of fans are tired of rooting for horrible human beings who are allowed to continue to be horrible so long as they win. My voice is what I have, and I will continue to use it as best as I can. Which brings me back to the WWE. I'm a fan of Triple H. As a wrestler, he was a big part of many of my memories, even as recently as this year's WrestleMania. As an executive vice president, he successfully led the charge in building the WWE farm system, NXT. WWE proudly lent its name and back into Susan G. Komen, Make-A-Wish, and Boys and Girls Club to name a few. They've been deeply involved in building an anti-bullying campaign, Be a Star, and just last year, Stephanie McMahon strengthened the company's domestic violence policy. We have a zero tolerance policy for domestic abuse. Upon arrest for such misconduct, our superstars are immediately suspended and should there be a conviction, that superstar or diva will be terminated. That's from the wellness policy that applies to all WWE talent. Imagine my confusion when during the maelstrom of the weekend, I noticed a few tweets that may have at any other time gone unnoticed. Tweets that caused me to question my support of the WWE and the man who sits near the top of the company food chain. So why now? Some have wondered because sometimes it takes a little longer to see the light. Triple H has continued to display his relationship with Floyd Mayweather through social media, the most recent being a hearty congratulation to the boxer following his victory Saturday night. It's not my place to say what one should and should not do on Twitter, especially during personal time. However, the era in which we live in is rapidly changing, and the line between one corporate and private persona have blurred. Triple H has over 2 million followers. He's one of the faces of a company that depends on a healthy public image. I realize he doesn't speak for everyone, but does he realize that when he shows support to a convicted batterer, friend or not, it can effectively damage so much goodwill that the company is admittedly doing. It's hard to sell a message of anti-bullying while slapping the ultimate bullying on the back. I was a fan, a big fan, but it's time to use my voice. Former WWE writer revealed Justin Bieber wanted to team up with Cena at SummerSlam last year. In a new blog which you can check out at this link, I'll leave a link down below. Former WWE writer Kevin Eck revealed Justin Bieber wanted to team with John Cena and Big Show to face the Wyatt family at SummerSlam last year. Eck wrote the following about Bieber's pitch. The proposed match was discussed among the booking team, which I was on about 5 months before SummerSlam. but a deal with Bieber never came to fruition. I'm not sure how close it was to actually happen. My concern at the time was that Cena teaming up with Bieber, who was making headlines for all the wrong reasons, and most definitely would have been booed unmer- unmercifully by the WWE audience, would not have done Cena, the face of the company, any favors. To address that concern, the creative suggestion was that Cena would become increasingly annoyed by Bieber in the week leading up to the match, but Bishop, who would be portrayed as Bieber's friend, would repeatedly play peacemaker. After the babyface went over in the match, Bieber would be so obnoxious and trying to take credit for the win that Cena would hit an attitude adjustment on him for a big pop. Another point that was raised when discussing the potential match was whether it would have been a bad PR move for WWE to do business with Bieber. The feeling from the power that be was that if Mayweather liked him, then Bieber must be okay. ESPN and network special tonight. WWE tout YouTube numbers. Triple H comic on Zayn vs. Cena. Ziggler doing stand-up. As a reminder, ESPN will be airing the WWE Behind the Curtain special at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. Additionally, WWE Network will be airing a Cinco de Mayo special hosted by Los Matadores at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Who cares? WWE tout YouTube numbers. WWE has announced the company's YouTube channel already has more than 2 billion views in 2015. Ziggler doing stand-up. Dolph Ziggler will be doing stand-up comedy at the Kowloon Comedy Club at Kowloon Restaurant in Saugus, Massachusetts on Friday, on June 26th. Triple H comic on Zayn vs. Cena. Triple H has tweeted the following. I watched a young kid in this same situation. His name was John Cena. Hashtag Sami Zayn vs. John Cena. Hashtag NXT Proud. Bill Goldberg appeared on ESPN, revealed he might be in a WWE video game, said WWE wasn't a lot of fun, talk Mayweather and more. Former WWE and WCW champion Bill Goldberg appeared on ESPN Sports Nation today, and below is a recap. Goldberg was asked how he got into fighting, and he said he was prepping to wrestle in Japan, and since the Japanese style is much stiffer, he needed to adjust. He then began training for fighting and MMA, and really began to enjoy it. Goldberg agreed that the Mayweather versus Pacquiao fight was a bit of a letdown and did not meet expectations, but said injury or not, Pacquiao just couldn't seem to land much. Goldberg talked about his transition from football to wrestling, and he said back in his football days he couldn't afford to buy so much as a sandwich, so he entered the world of pro wrestling because the money was there. On a possible return to WWE, Goldberg had the following to say, and I quote, kids would ask me, when are you going to WWE? I did it for them. It was probably the most tumultuous years of my entire life. I done a lot of things, but that wasn't something that was a lot of fun for me. Goldberg then said he is waiting on a WWE video game right now, which is why he is being so politically correct. So it looks as if the Goldberg character might be in talk to appear in WWE 2K16 or a future WWE game. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Peace.